Pickup Lines is presented by Gamez Law Firm. Personal injury guidance for more than 50 years. Gamez Law fights. By Integrity Roofing and Siding. Family owned and operated for more than 40 years, serving the San Antonio area for roofing, siding, and renovation needs. And by the Sabinal Group. For nearly 20 years, serving the San Antonio region through professional minority general contracting services. Pickup Lines is broadcast from inside the all-electric Lexus RZ450e, courtesy of North Park Lexus at Dominion and North Park Lexus of San Antonio.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for another episode of Pickup Lines. Yes, on a Sunday indeed. It is a special holiday weekend around the country, but particularly here in San Antonio as we get ready for Martin Luther King Day tomorrow. And few cities do it as big as San Antonio, so I'm thrilled to have, for just a few minutes here, the chairman of the San Antonio MLK Commission, Dwayne Robinson. Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you, Ron.
We are
Wreath land ceremony.
I see that. We're about 100 yards away from what's about to unfold. So I only get you for a little bit because at the top of the hour, you're going to have your next event.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about that.
The wreath land ceremony, it's just our way of honoring those who participated in the civil rights movement with Dr. King and some of those folks who have passed away.
Right. So just to give people context, we're at the corner of New Braunfels and East Houston. Correct. So you have time still if you're in the neighborhood or you want to come by. I mean, yes, is it a little chilly? Yes, but as you can see, there's not a cloud in the sky right now. And you said you actually prefer a little chill in the air.
Yeah, get us ready for tomorrow because we will be marching tomorrow. There's no hint of precipitation early. Right. It's looking like later on in the evening. Yes, it's going to be cold. So dress warm, layer up. But starting at 10 o'clock over at Martin Luther King Academy, we will start March.
Right. And all the marches are special, but this one has to have extra significance given that you had to, it was like at 6 a.m. last year, very early in the morning, you had to make that terrible decision to call it at the last minute.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the behind the scenes stuff that people don't see, in particular with the vendors and the food vendors and all of that work that went in to prepare them for what is essentially a big day for them. They sell a lot of product on that day. So from an economic perspective, I know that was challenging for them. But when you look at in our 38-year history, because of inclement weather, we may have canceled the march maybe one other time. We did, because of COVID, have 1 year where we didn't have it and another year where we had it virtually.
Indeed. So everything gets started bright and early tomorrow. The march starts at 10 a.m., correct?
That's what time they start marching. Okay. You can start lining up about 8 o'clock in the morning.
So people will be there very early, and there are events leading up to all of that. I should mention this episode is in conjunction with our friends at Dream Week, and I've gotten to know Show and the team over there, and I've seen you on TV together, and you guys work very well together.
Yes, that's correct. I really respect what Show is doing with Dream Week. Like I said, I think on TV was for us because our march is so big, because we get such national attention. 2 years ago, we were on the cover of Wall Street Journal. I really like how Show highlights the local people. Yeah. Like this year, we have a national speaker. We have the man's daughter-in-law. We have Dr. King's daughter-in-law, Andrea Waters King, as the keynote speaker. And trust me, the people in Atlanta know what we're doing here in San Antonio.
I had a chance to talk to, so she's married to Martin Luther King III.
Correct.
Which to get any member of the King family is huge, and I'm sure they're in high demand, obviously, but to have her here in San Antonio is huge.
Yes. We've had Martin Luther King III. He's spoken before. Now we have her, and the daughter, Yolanda, is phenomenal. So hopefully in a few years we'll have her. And she, by the way, is the only grandchild to Dr. King and Coretta Scott King.
Beautiful stuff. A few more minutes here with Dwayne Robinson because we got to get him on time to his wreath laying ceremony, which is, again, here at New Braunfels in East Houston at the top of the hour. You have memories going back to, I know you were born and raised here in San Antonio?
Yes.
And you have early memories of marching in previous marches. I think it goes back to, was it 86 when Mayor Cisneros back then formed the commission and the march as we know it today?
Yes, but I remember Reverend R.A. Callies when he used to be out here collecting dollars for the statue, number one, but then to also get the state to recognize it as a holiday and the federal government as a holiday.
Was he not the one, because Dr. King was assassinated in April of '68, was he not the one that was it days later,
Yep.
was out here
Yes, sir.
on the streets marching himself with
With
whoever would join
with
him?
his children, and he was a teacher over at Martin Luther King Academy of Gates or Riley, whichever one it was then, and he would have some of his students with him.
Unbelievable. And now it's multiple hundreds of thousands of
Largest march in the country, which equates to the largest in the world. I tried to get the Guinness Book of World Records to come out and recognize us, but they didn't have that as a category.
All right. I know you've been asked 100 times, why is it so big in San Antonio? Have you ever been able to nail it down to one specific thing?
In my third year as chair of the commission, the thing that I learned the most was how much organization goes into moving a crowd that size. So what makes us different? Well, number one, let's say you have a financial contributor, a sponsor that contributes $50,000. They get there this coming Monday, tomorrow, at 8 o'clock in the morning. We're lining up. You see the indicators to tell you what section you are, and you think you're in section number 1, and you're told you're in section 5.
Yeah.
That conversation goes back and forth between them and the March Marshals, and then they say, okay, we'll get in line.
Yeah.
Only in San Antonio.
So organized.
Yep.
It's like a well-oiled machine.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. A couple more minutes with Dwayne Robinson here. Is it bittersweet because this is the end of your term as commissioner, or the chair of the commission, I should say, the MLK Commission? You cannot serve after the march, is that right?
That's correct. But I mean, it's a privilege.
Yeah.
You know, it's a privilege that I never thought I would have. I've done the best that I could for 3 years. In the worst case scenarios, I get to go back to being normal and just marching and participating.
Yeah, but to think what you've overcome, I mean, with the weather challenges, COVID and everything, and to still have the march, and there's a very healthy crowd here right now.
Yes.
I mean, that says a lot to what you've been able to maintain and do. So,
Yeah.
I should mention too, I mean, there's scholarship money. You guys, the scholarship money, that total seems to go up every single year, and
Yes,
you're
sir.
impacting a lot of young lives.
Yes, sir. We're right at $200,000 that we give out in scholarships.
Yeah.
But we have at 4:30 today, we have the interfaith service, which will be over at St. Mark's Episcopal Church, and then everything starts tomorrow. We'll have Trinity University on the 23rd with their speaker being Kenneth Kemp, the pastor of Antioch.
All right, last thing I want to ask you, because tomorrow in this country, it takes on extra significance with the inauguration of a U.S. president. I went back and looked. I think maybe in '97 it happened when Bill Clinton's second inauguration, to have a presidential inauguration fall on the same day as the MLK holiday. With the state of the country and everything happening right now, if you could leave us with a message in terms of what you want to see people doing tomorrow and beyond, what do you think that will be?
Optimistic.
Yeah.
I mean, we know what the first 4 years were like under the Trump administration. We survived it. We've survived so many other things. I believe that there's always potential in individuals. He has the highest office in the land. He can use that office to do good for all San Antonians and all Americans.
Yeah, okay, very good. Lastly, do you find yourself going back to your childhood when you were, growing up here? And where'd you go to high school, by the way?
Roosevelt High School.
Roosevelt, Rough Rider.
Yeah.
How often do you think about the younger, adolescent Dwayne Robinson, and how far you've come, and how much this march and this weekend has impacted your life?
Sure. I don't think about the young Dwayne, because you live in the moment, and there's so much work to be done. If I look backwards, I look backwards at the sacrifice that King and all of those civil rights heroes and sheroes, how they paid it forward for me.
That's very powerful stuff. Well, that's a good place to leave it as well, because, again, I want to keep this man on time.
Thank you.
He's got an event here at 2 o'clock, the wreath-laying ceremony. Again, the march begins tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., but people will be lining up well before that. You'll certainly be up well before that.
Yes.
And I wish you all the best and continued success beyond your service with the commission, and thank you for some time today.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
There he is, Dwayne Robinson, for a little bit longer, the chairman of the San Antonio MLK Commission. What a great legacy he leaves behind. and we hope to see everybody at the march tomorrow morning. Dreamweek.org is the website. I know you fall under the city, so if you want to go to the city website, you can find out more about the commission and the great work you do. So thanks again. All the best to you. There's another episode of Pickup Lines. We'll be back again very soon. Be safe, stay warm, and have a great holiday weekend. Bye for now.